Hello, you awesome friends. This is your pal, Edwards here speaking. And thank you for coming to another interview with Edward. And I'm so happy because we've not only taken off globally, we've done it with your support. And now I've actually got one of my really great long-term friends on our show today. And he's a very, very powerful guy. He's based in Sydney, Australia, and he runs a top marketing and events promotional company. So if you want to create events, to really shine your business, right from charity galas to full-on business events, this guy and his company is your awesome team. And we're going on the show to ask him a stack of questions. How are you today, Michael Gray?
I'm really good, thanks, Edward. How are you?
Well, I'm excited and honored to have you with us, Michael. And I was just going to say, you've built one incredible company over the years. How many staff do you have and what exactly do you do?
Been in business for 5.5 years now. I've been personally in the industry for 13 years. Over the last 5.5 years, built the company up to having 7 staff. And we're managing hundreds of events a year for our clients. In light of the COVID situation, we're now also managing and promoting online events. So MKG Events at its premise is a full service event management agency. So we do everything from helping to concept the event to make them commercially sustainable and viable, right through to organising everything with the venues, the speakers, suppliers, right through to marketing, ticket sales, sponsorship, media and PR to running the event on the day or night. And we operate Australia-wide and
Yeah,
have clients all over Australia at the moment.
I know, and I'm actually in the process of becoming one of your clients in full disclosure. Again, we won't say too much, but off camera, we're busy planning my event post-corona, weren't we, Michael?
Absolutely. It's going to be a real ripper, so definitely watch this space.
Yeah. Now, Michael, you are an events guy, and you know events inside out, right? And you've got amazing clients across Australia, and you know exactly what you're doing. What I was going to ask you about all this, and we'll keep it more commercially focused. So when we talk events, we'll focus on more the commercial events that are designed to get sales. That's more what our audience is into, right?
Yep.
When it comes to those commercial events that are designed to get sales, how do you go about it? How do you make a great event that brings in revenue, and how do they all work, Michael?
Well, that's the thing. When it comes to an event that produces revenue, there's a lot of different elements to consider. A lot of people automatically think of, things like ticket sales, sponsorship, but depending upon the type of business event that it is, there are also alternative revenue models as well. So, for example, people may pay to co-speak at your event. People might pay to be included in the promotional brochures or to have a stall at the event. So say, for example, something like the B2B Expo, even though we don't work on that, but obviously the exhibitors have to pay to exhibit their businesses there. So there's a whole bunch of different revenue models that can be considered based upon your overall aims and expectations. But what, in my experience, is particularly important when you're just trying to generate sales through events or online events for your business is obviously having something that's very smooth running, something that aligns with the target market that is watching or attending the event, and being able to effectively build that know, like, and trust with the audience. And that is obviously key, along with following up interested parties post the webinar or event.
Yeah, that's incredible. And I was going to say, I think it's an amazing thing that you're doing. And what is an example? Like, we've got a lot of people across the world who are clients, coaches, mentors, and educators.
Yep.
What's the classic event structure that you often run for clients where they make a lot of money, get a lot of sales, and get a great return on investment? What's your classic structure there?
Well, it's not necessarily a classic structure in the sense that we do customize it depending upon who our client is and what's going to be appropriate for them. So, for example, in the past, we've done a whole range of events for a range of different coaches and consultants, for example. So how we would sell a life coach's services would vary to a sales coach or a business coach or a marketing mentor's services. So, and what I mean by that is it's obviously a different program, it's a different product, and the people have that would opt in for each of these things have different needs and circumstances that need to be considered in the sales process.
Yeah, gotcha. So let's use me as an example, right? We'll throw me into it. And again, forgetting our conversation before. So, for example, I help people become master persuaders and influencers. I've got a huge global community on LinkedIn. But let's say hypothetically, and again, I'm not talking about our conversation. I'm just saying generally.
Yep.
What would you suggest for someone like me if I wanted to run, let's say, what kind of workshop or event would I run that would really benefit the business and community? What would you suggest? Just talking generally, shooting off the hip.
Yep. So talking generally, we would obviously assess our clients' offerings. So, for example, they might have a one-day workshop. They might also offer a group coaching or one-on-one coaching. So, for example, you might have a free or a low-cost event for 100, 200 people that would then be used as a feeder into that one-day workshop or training that might be $700, $1,000, $2,000, that would then be used as a feeder into a longer-term, say, for example, one-on-one coaching program. So that's how a funnel particularly could work in that scenario. We actually managed a webinar with a sales coach a couple of weeks ago. The webinar cost them about $3,000 to $4,000 to promote with us, and they actually generated $25,000 in sales from the people attending the webinar that we secured for them. And that sales process was obviously around providing high value education during the webinar, and then obviously effectively booking people in for post call strategy sessions, which subsequently then led to those people becoming coaching clients. So there's a range of different models, as I've just explained. There are some models that work better than others, but there are also some models that work for some people and not others. So we really work with people strategically to understand the direction that they're looking to take.
Oh, well, so let's say, we'll just use me as an example. So, no one can get upset at you. We're going to use me as an example. So let's say hypothetically, and we've been suggesting this off camera, you might say for someone like me who's already quite popular, Ed, we could run post-corona, of course, we could run a event where, let's say, we go for 100 people. And when you say low cost, how would it work? So 100 people, would they buy tickets? How would that work?
There's a range of different models that can be used. Obviously, there's the completely free model. There's everyone pays the same price model and gets the same benefit at the event. And then there are also other hybrid models you may like to consider. So I guess if you look at the positives and negatives of free tickets versus paid tickets, free, you're much more likely to attract cold audience people, which I think is essential for any business, because there's only so much time the warm leads are going to last for, and you obviously have to continuously find new ways of attracting people in to have clients come out the other side. So in terms of the free approach, works really well for cold people that are perhaps not as engaged, that you want to build up and warm them up over a period of time. Then there's obviously the paid scenario as well, but then you can also do things like tiered ticketing. So for example, you could have a free option, then you could also have a paid option whereby the people that pay get front row seating, and on top of that they might get lunch included, or a special post-event networking time, or a strategy call with one of the presenters. So just as long as there's that clear difference in value, people can opt for what suits them as well when they're in the registering for the event process.
I love that, and I'm sure a lot of our viewers around the world would love this, Michael. I love how you put it. So you could, for example, run an event where you go for 100 people. You might have, let's say it's 100 seats for argument's sake.
Yep.
You might have 20 paid seats where people pay for the front row seats, and then the other 80 are free. That would be a great model. So if someone, I guess, wants to come in for free, they can. If someone wants to give you some money, they can. That's a great model. I personally love the sound of that.
Well, thank you. And it's actually a model that we've implemented successfully for many clients over the years as well. And I guess if you look at it from the audience's perspective, if you look at it as well from the coach's perspective, having the strategy calls with the guests actually would be very valuable as well, because it gives you time to build that extra know, like, and trust with key people that have obviously made a commitment to be there, which means if you are a coach and you have people that have committed to being there, that's obviously a good potential alignment to work together. Because from my understanding of working with so many coaches over the years, coaches want to work with people that are committed, that are driven to take themselves forward. They don't want to work with people that can't be bothered to, move themselves forward.
Got it. So, for example, any coach or anyone listening, you could run a workshop, obviously post-corona, legal and safe, 100 people, 80 people free, 20 people pay. I'm just trying to do some mathematics here for the sake of our audience. So let's say you run an event, right? You run an event and you got 100 people. Out of 100, let's say you got 100 people, just to keep the math simple, right?
Yep.
How many people how many free tickets would you allocate and how many paid tickets would you allocate? And how much would the paid tickets cost and what would you put in there?
So that's a very loaded question. So it would depend upon who the coach is. It would depend upon where they are in the market. Using you.
Yeah, please pick on me as an example. Yep. So just pick on Edward's ear.
Sure thing, Edward. So using you as an example, I think you have a very, very connected community of people, but you're also looking to grow and particularly, really, deliver the value that you can offer to your clients to more people. So you could look at a 50-50 split scenario, in the sense of 50%, new people that may be wanting to get to know you, and 50% of people that already do know you. You could also look at, depending upon the direction you want to take, say, for example, having 80% of people in the room focused on new business and maybe 20% being existing customers. And you can actually also use those people who are existing customers to, give testimonials about you on stage at the right time in the event to the new people. And it's also an opportunity for them to get some exposure for their organisations too. So there's a whole range of different ways that you can leverage this.
Oh, beautiful. And how much would you charge? And again, use me as an example. So, everyone's, so you're not spilling any beans. Yep. How much would I charge for a free ticket? So I got 100 people.
Yep.
Let's say what you're saying, 50 or 20%, like 50 or 20. How much would you charge for, obviously a free ticket's obviously zero because it's free, but how much would you charge, silly question, how much would you charge for a free ticket? How much would you charge for a paid ticket and what proportion would be paid?
So in terms of how much you can charge, so for example, you could have free, which is free, then you could have a silver ticket, which might be, say, $27, $37, something like that, and then a gold ticket, $87, $97, for example. So the difference between the three ticket options might be the free people basically just get to come to the event. Silver and gold ticket holders might get to attend the event with premium front row seating, in addition to a post-event networking time exclusively for silver and gold ticket holders. And then gold ticket holders might get a 30-minute free strategy call with you, for example. So then there's a clear difference in value proposition between each of the three ticket holders. And in relation to the pricing, that would kind of be generalized pricing, but it's a pricing model that I've used effectively and repeatedly for many years.
Got it. So out of 100 people, how many, in my case, how many would you do free and how many would you do paid?
Yep. So you might have, say, 20 people gold, you might have 30, 40 people silver, and then the rest bronze.
Ah, okay. And then bronze is free, silver and gold is paid. Is that right?
Correct. Yes. So free would be bronze, silver would say be $27, $37, and then, sorry, that would be silver, and then gold would be $87, $97, something like that.
Gotcha. And so again, 100 people, right? Yep. I'm just doing some mathematics in my head, right? So mathematics in my head. So let's say you've got
Yep.
100 people, and what were the numbers again? So how many gold, how many silver, how many bronze out of 100? I'll try to do some
Sure
numbers.
thing. So possibly 20 gold at
Yeah,
$97
gotcha.
and 30, 40 silver at say $27 or $37. But what you also, I guess, need to consider in terms of revenue generation as well is that you could have other speakers that are paying to present as well. You could
Gotcha.
also have a couple of clients of yours that want some exposure, so they might get a trade stand at the back of the room and the opportunity to give a short presentation in exchange for helping to contribute towards the event costs. And then obviously you have great marketing programs such as the Marketing Vault, such as your one-day workshops and your one-on-one coaching sessions that could be sold at the event as well. So if you look at it from a cost recovery and profiteering perspective, there's obviously many different ways that you can get income other than tickets. So what I always think is the best thing to do is not to rely on one particular revenue stream and look at it from multiple revenue streams.
I love it. You're absolutely blowing my mind because, again, for me, this is such a great thing. And to our viewers around the world, I really hope you're enjoying this interview because these are all the different ideas that you can do. And in real time, you're actually seeing my own journey with Michael. Like, for example, I might run an event with 100 people. As you were saying before, 20 are gold, 30. So half are basically paying, half
Mm.
are free. If 20 are paying gold, that's $2,000. If 30 are paying silver, which is let's say just $25, that would be, was it $1,500? My brain's not working. I work in marketing. I'm an influencer marketing coach, not an accountant. But let's say hypothetically, let's say 30 by 50, which is $6,000. Very nice. And is $2,000. If you could fill that, and that's a big question, if you could fill that, already I've made $2,000 plus $6,000. But if silver's $50, gold's 100, I've already made 2,000 plus 30 times. So I've already made at least $6,500, and then the rest are all free.
Correct. And also too, what's very important to consider from your point of view, and another way that we help our clients is by one of the ways that we help increase the profitability of our clients' events is by managing the expenses responsibly. So, for example, within Sydney, there are many venues in the city. I'm not going to name names, but let's just say that some AV companies very much overcharge or attempt to overcharge people. Like one of our clients in the past, they were quoted $11,000 for AV equipment, so speakers,
just quickly,
microphones that we got for
whatever you
$2,000.
do, please make sure you don't name anyone or give out any details that you can find.
I
So
wasn't.
please, no naming and
Yep.
shaming. Yeah, please.
I
Don't.
wasn't.
Oh, good.
So,
Just being sure.
so what I was trying to say there is, our client was quoted $11,000. We got exactly the same supplies for them for $2,000. So
Wow.
because of our buying power of doing many events per week all over the place. And one of the other things as well is that we can help our clients with is we obviously have a lot of relationships with a lot of venues and, where you might go in, a random person might go in off the street, the venue might want 30, 40, 50% up front. Our clients can get access to a lot of venues within the city area, for example, for 10, 15, 20% upfront. So that just helps to manage things from a financial and cash flow perspective for our clients better. So there are many, I guess, advantages of seeking out advice before going through this process. Because I guess one of the things with events, they can be very expensive if you don't know what you're doing, and they can also be very expensive if you don't have the right sales processes in place to generate income. And after doing hundreds of events, obviously I'm across various forms of revenue models, and that's why some of our clients benefit from a 300 to 500% return on investment.
Oh yeah, and your knowledge is amazing. And but the thing is, and just in full honesty to the audience, I'm a webinar guy. I'm a more of a meetup guy. I'm more of a LinkedIn guy. For me, doing the full day, paid workshops for hundreds of people, that's a new skill set for me. Hence why I'm being intellectually honest and working with someone like yourself, Michael. Because again, we don't know everything. Just on that, Michael, and I know a lot of the audience will be. I tend to think exactly what the audience thinks, right? And I know what a
Yep.
lot of people are thinking. So, okay, here we go. You're going to run an event. There's
Yep.
100 people.
Yep.
20 are going to be gold, paying $100 a ticket.
Yep.
30 are going to be like silver. I think $50 to $49, $50 a ticket, right? So right there, you're already talking some good money, right? You're talking
Yep.
say $2,000. My brain's not working. I need more coffee. What is 50 times 30? Oh, 1,500. It's 1,500. Sorry.
Yep.
Sorry, brain's not working. So that's already $3,500 of income just from the ticket sales.
Yep.
What are some of the, and you got 50 people in the room who are in the room for free. What else can you do? You're saying you could have exhibitor tables at the event.
Yep, as a potential option. This works for some people, it doesn't work for other people. You could also look at it from a sponsorship perspective as well, where businesses pay money in return for getting advertising benefits to the people in the room. So say, for example, you're a marketing coach, people may come to you because they've maybe just started their business or they're looking to grow their business. So who could be a good potential partner for someone like Edward that's running a marketing event? You could be looking at someone, for example, that actually labors and, does, logo creation or website design. And, that's something that's complementary to your services, but not, what you specifically do. Alternately, you could even have like an accounting firm or a law firm as well, which would be a complementary service, because when you grow your business, you might need to revise the current contracts that you have in place with your customers or suppliers. So there's definitely, if you're strategic about it, different options that you could look at as far as that's concerned.
And that's beautiful. That brings me to my next question, Michael. And I know everyone's thinking this, and this will, I reckon, will help conclude our wonderful discussion as well. How do you sell the tickets? So that's fine. How do we sell 20 for 100, 30 for 50, and fill the rest of the free ones? How do you fill the event? How do you go about it?
Well, first of all, when it comes to the landing page that you have for your event, you obviously clearly articulate what your value proposition is, why people should attend, who the event's suited for, who the event's not suited for, references of the speaker, photos, videos, make it look really high quality and suitable for the type of audience that you're trying to attract, really speaking to them. So say, for example, let's say, Ed, you wanted to do an event for personal trainers looking to grow their businesses. That would be a very different, marketing content scenario than compared to if you were targeting accountants or if you were targeting anybody in the world that runs a business. So once you identify who that niche is that you're looking to target, make it customized to them, have the different ticketing options available and the benefits. So if you get the free tickets, you just get to attend. If you get silver tickets, you get the networking opportunity. If you get gold tickets, you get networking plus front row seating plus a 30-minute strategy call with you, for example. So it clearly sets everything out. People can choose in terms of how you funnel people to the booking page. We have a network of over 40,000 entrepreneurs based in Australia that are extremely excited about the prospect of developing themselves and growing their businesses as well. So we would communicate it out with our networks. So we have extensive communities on Meetup, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on email, SMS databases. Obviously, all the people who have ever attended our events in the past as well. So that combined is a very key thing. And what we've actually noticed, particularly over the last couple of years, is that we have so many followers that are actually turning up at all of the business events that we run for a period of time, and then we kind of hear from them later, and they kind of tell us how much it's kind of helped them. And I can definitely say that from my own perspective as well. I've definitely learned a lot from working with incredible business mentors as well. So, and I think that if you apply yourself, anyone can learn a lot from working with incredible business mentors. And Edward's definitely one of those people.
And Michael, I got to say, it's great. I'm looking forward to the prospect of kicking this off, hopefully towards the end. My vision is towards the end of the year we pull this off based on everything going great. That's my vision. Hopefully it happens, but we'll see what happens. It will. I'll give you this answer. It will happen. My goal is to make it happen as soon as possible. And I've got to say, it's been great using me as a live guinea pig. I was going to say, Michael, we've covered a lot of ground today. It's been awesome, and I know our audiences love it. As we bring this interview to its epic conclusion, what are some of your closing thoughts and tips to our audience around the world on how to run really profitable, successful events? Any closing thoughts from you, Michael?
Well, unfortunately, due to the coronavirus situation, a lot of events globally have been cancelled or postponed for this year. And obviously that's been very challenging for my industry and for my business as well. The events industry in Australia, for example, there's over 400,000, normally over 400,000 events a year. It contributes to the jobs of over 230,000 Australians and contributes about $40 billion to the nation's economy as well. So it's obviously pre-COVID a very powerful industry and will rise once more post-COVID as well. But what this means to anyone looking to hold an event now is that if they, are actively looking at their event plans right now for post-COVID, they can be ready to hit the ground running once the restrictions are over. And what this actually means is it'll be a good market opportunity because a lot of large events that have been cancelled, such as the Royal Easter Show, such as Vivid, those events take years of planning for each one. So obviously those kind of events can't happen fast, but small and medium-sized events, if you're planning now, putting things in place now, can happen immediately, and there's more of a market opportunity for people looking to start events because there's reduced competition, generally speaking, of other companies that are running larger events that can't practically move as agilely as small and medium-sized events can.
Michael Gray, I'm going to say I've loved this interview and it's been great picking your brain. I'm absolutely excited to share this with our community once I get it uploaded. I just want to say a big thank you. I was going to ask you as well, how can people around the world get in contact with you if they want to learn more about you and what you're doing, or they just want you as an awesome connection?
Well, I'm on LinkedIn and I have many, many tens of thousands of followers as well. My mobile number is 0452 446 443, and you can also reach out to me via email at michael@mkgevents.com.au.
Michael, it's been an absolute pleasure. And just before you go, what is your final wonderful closing thought to the audience?
My closing thoughts for the audience would be it's time to start thinking about the event concepts you want to do for post-COVID now. But in the meantime, we can definitely help you with online events, which for our clients have been really winning with lately as well. So, and I guess as well, if you feel like you, perhaps want to manage the event yourself and just want a bit of a guiding hand, but you kind of mainly want to do it yourself, we also have event coaching for those types of clients. So giving the people specific advice around how to make your event more profitable, how to make it successful, what common pitfalls to avoid, as well as advice that's uniquely tailored. So basically, MKG Events is your full service provider, from doing it for you or with you, everything from concept through to organising, marketing, selling and managing. And for people that are comfortable doing that themselves and just want a bit of a hand, we can also do event coaching and one-on-one coaching as well. So,
Michael, Thank you so much. And to my friends around the world,
Mm.
Michael Gray's a great guy. You're seeing me in real time expand my own thinking and consciousness on events. And I got to tell you what, it's very excited. Michael, I just want to give you the final word. And I just want to say thank you so much for your time here. I know you're a busy man and we absolutely appreciate you.
Well, thank you so much. And we very much look forward to working with you and helping people expand their businesses through increased knowledge in marketing.